Do you find yourself saying like, they keep coming around, touching things, moving things like they own the place? This is my house. Do they know who I am? In this video, we will go over the concept of being willing to be willing. How willing are you? It is so easy for us to be like, what are they doing? How do they think they can do it that way? I know this can be done differently, and I know I can do it better. What does willingness mean? According to the dictionary, willingness is the quality or state of being prepared to do something. Readiness. How willing are you to be prepared to do something? Where am I? How am I feeling? Why am I pointing the finger? Oftentimes when we point that finger, there's like more facing our direction. So I challenge you, instead of placing that energy outwardly, place it inward and upward. We need to start practicing our willingness by being willing to accept people for who they are. Be willing to understand that your way is not necessarily the way. There is the way, and then there's your way. And your way is one of many. Being willing to be led. And that key is needed in order to open your mind up, open your vision up, open your heart up to a new possibility that you would not have been able to experience if not for that person or opportunity to be led. Sometimes it takes that outside situation in order for us to see a different possibility. Be willing to enter rooms where people are talking about the things you're struggling with. Be willing to step into the rooms where people are in the positions that you see yourself being in one day. Be willing to just take a step and work towards something. To piggyback on that statement, you must also be willing to give it all to God. This is something I personally struggle with. Trust that God has got you. Be willing to give it up to God. Be willing to say, man, I have no idea what's happening right now in my life. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's up and what's down. But one thing I do know is that I can give this to you. That way it removes that sense of control, that sense of panic, that sense of urgency, that sense of confusion, that sense of lostness, if that's a word. And it just adds finding a little bit of peace in that space of uncertainty. What is that something that you've been ignoring for some time now? Name it. Keep it up here. Keep it in your mind real quick. Recognize the feelings that surrounds this thing that you need to do. And just acknowledge it. Willingness doesn't have to be a full-fledged, I'm diving deep in. Willingness could just be like, oh, I noticed those dishes in the sink. Let me put some soap on the sponge. And I'm gonna set the sponge aside. I prepared a little something. Willingness could be, now that I see the soap is on the sponge, let me pick up a plate and see how I feel about this. Okay, I've got the plate, I've got my sponge with soap. Let me see what, let me try a little, let me do a little something, okay? All right, this is all right. And play some music to help me get through this. Okay, I've got my music playing. Oh, this is more relaxing. This is weightlifting. This is, why did I put this off for so long? My mind is now opening. I'm now seeing, okay, the thing that I was avoiding was never a mountain. These dishes weren't a mountain. I made them a mountain. But maybe I need to put these things down. Maybe you need to put these things down and say, hey, I'm gonna choose today to be willing to do something different.